Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, but before we get into that, I just want to take a minute and ask you guys to make sure that if you like this type of content, that you hit that subscribe button, as well as the bell next to it to be notified of any videos I post here on the channel, and also make sure you give this video a thumbs up because every time you do that, it helps the channel out greatly. So anyway, on with the news. The very first thing that I have for you guys is actually not even dinosaur related, but it is from a member of the dinosaur collecting community that has actually sent over some pretty cool stuff here to the channel in the past. If you can recall, it is from Ismenonah, who is a viewer of this channel who had sent over some really cool repaints of some old Kenner Tyrannosaurs quite a ways back that we had taken a look at here on the channel. Well, he is actually creating something new and entirely on his own, and they are Jaws-inspired models, and I think they look absolutely incredible, so incredible that I really wanted to show you guys and kind of pique some interest on the models because I don't really see Jaws model kits very often. And, you know, being such an iconic film, you would think you would see that more often, but you really don't. And the fact that he was making some, and again, having such strong ties to the dinosaur collecting community, I figured you guys would probably be interested in these model kits. So if in fact you are, I will include a link in the description to the email of Ismenonah where you can contact him to inquire further about picking up some of these fantastic Jaws models. I'm hoping to get my hands on some and review them here on the channel for you guys at some point in the near future, but you can always contact him prior to that and acquire these fantastic model kits as soon as they are available. And as far as Star Ace Toys goes, and the Triceratops actually that I have recently reviewed, they now have another Triceratops out. It's obviously based on the same 1 million years BC Triceratops that I had reviewed. However, it is a polyresin model and it kind of fits better to the Tyrannosaurus that is coming out from Star Ace as far as like the bases go. So it's definitely something that I feel like is really cool. The sculpt of course looks phenomenal just like the previous version did. And I don't think Star Ace Toys would ever make anything at this point that doesn't look pretty much exactly like it looked in the films. And overall, I really feel like they did a fantastic job, as well as adding in the human characters in a more accurate size range in comparison to the previous Triceratops release, which I have reviewed on this channel. Again, the human figure in that set was a good bit larger than she should have. These, however, look a lot more accurate, and of course, like I had stated, match up to the Ceratosaurus quite a bit nicer than the version that I have recently reviewed. However, the version I have reviewed is also an incredible release from Star Ace, but it's really awesome to have two different versions of this Triceratops out, and I really wanted to bring this to your attention so that you could head on over right now to sideshow.com and pre-order this if you were interested. Again, another fantastic 1 million years Ray Harryhausen release from Star Ace Toys. And then as far as Jurassic Justin goes, who was the one that was making that super articulated, really nice and accurate Dilophosaurus model, I have a few images of some really cool stuff actually that he's working on, as he has some compies that he was also creating, which you can see here from this image, and these were meant to be exclusive to the Dilophosaurus model. However, he has had quite a bit of interest in them, so he's considering selling the compies in their own pack. And if this is something you are interested in, he's kind of trying to gauge the response on this to see if it's something he would like to pursue further. So if you are interested in these, make sure you contact Jurassic Justin through his Instagram account. I will link that in the description so you can contact him, of course, to follow along with the progress of this and the Dilophosaurus model, but also just generally to show your interest in these compies and hopefully get them their own individual release. And as far as the actual Dilophosaurus itself, we see a really nice image here of the head sculpt as it is currently being painted. He is in the process right now of finalizing the entire color scheme so that we'll have a good idea of what the fully finished Dilophosaurus will look like. He's actually also currently printing out just tons of this Dilophosaurus so that he can get to painting them so that he can officially have a release date ready for us very soon. The price for the model will actually be $600 US, and this is in 1/12 scale, so it is a very large, very cool looking, super articulated Dilophosaurus. It will also come with a 10-inch detailed base, which is really cool to have a base included as well. The model will also have interchangeable faceplates, hands, and feet on top of the really cool base, and the base will have a very highly detailed appearance to it as well. And in other news, actually, as far as Jurassic Justin goes, he is planning on having a 1/18th scale line, and these would obviously be much cheaper than the 1/12th scale line. It's meant for people who can't quite afford the larger figures, and they will have a little bit less articulation, around 25 points of articulation as opposed to the 50 points of articulation that the 1/12th scale models have. The 1/18th scale models will also not come with interchangeable pieces and won't have a base to keep the price down, make it a lot more affordable for collectors that are interested in it. And he is intending on creating an entire line of dinosaurs in the 1/18th scale range, as well as a few in the 1/12th scale range. So some really cool information coming from Jurassic Justin, something to definitely keep your eye out for. And once the pre-order goes up for that Dilophosaurus, I will be sure to, of course, let you guys know. And then as far as Iron Studios goes, they have another of these 1/10th art scale models that are releasing, and it just kind of very quietly popped up on Sideshow, and I almost didn't even realize it until just a few days ago when I was kind of looking around on there. But it's a diorama of two different Velociraptors from Jurassic Park. They have previously released some really cool Jurassic Park 1/10th scale raptors in the past, and I really liked those, or at least the one that I have. I was unable to acquire the other two, but this definitely looks pretty fun. I'm not super sold on the sculpts of the raptors, though. They look a little strange in certain aspects, like the necks I feel like are a little bit too thick, but at the same time it does still look really nice in a way, just not super accurate to Jurassic Park. But being a licensed Jurassic Park product, it is still really cool, and you know, certain angles of it definitely make them look really nice, other angles not so much. It's a little bit hit or miss, I think, for this model, but it's still really cool, and I love the idea of the raptors kind of sneaking through the brush right here. And considering how good my Velociraptor is that I have, I am very interested in potentially picking these up, but I did want to let you guys know again that they were available to pre-order currently on Sideshow. And then as far as W Dragon goes, we have a new model coming from them, another licensed Jurassic World product, as we have a Mosasaurus releasing from the W Dragon line, and it looks really cool. Again, a much more affordable, probably anyway. We don't have the price quite yet, but considering the track record of the W Dragon products, I would imagine it will be a much more affordable version than the Prime 1 or Chronicle Collectibles versions that were coming out, and it looks honestly fantastic. I feel like W Dragon is really just now starting to hit their stride as far as creating some of the best models that we've ever seen, and this Mosasaurus is pretty much a perfect example of that. A fantastic model coming from W Dragon yet again. No word quite yet on when this will go up for order, but it definitely looks fantastic, and I'm quite interested to learn more about it when we do get more info. And then as far as Shane Folks, the Cretaceous Creations of America, and Passion Charger goes, I did tease in a video a little ways back that they were going to be releasing a model together. Well, we do have the official unveiling of that model, which you can see here is a Triceratops, and it looks unbelievably beautiful, like probably the nicest looking Triceratops I've ever seen in my entire life. And considering the two sculptors that are behind the model, that is not a surprise in any way, shape, or form. But again, just an overall gorgeous, absolutely beautiful Triceratops. I'm honestly so amazed by how nice this is. It will actually be released in a few different sizes. We will have a 1/20th scale full body version. A base will be optional for that version. There's also going to be a 1/35th scale version, again a full body version with an optional base, and they are considering a 1/10th scale bust, but they're not 100% sure quite yet if that will play out or not. The pre-orders are limited to 4 at the 1/20th scale size and 4 at the 1/35th scale size. Once all 4 pre-orders have been fulfilled, the production of the model will get underway, and then you'll be able to purchase it again at a later date. So another incredibly exciting model coming from Shane Folks, and this time with the help of Passion Charger, just something that I am over the moon excited about and will hopefully be able to pick up at some point in the future. And then as far as Recur goes, they are going to be releasing another new model. They actually have a few different models that will be revealed, I believe, fairly soon, but this is the first of the upcoming models of theirs to be revealed, and it is a featherless Velociraptor. And I know a lot of people aren't really big fans of featherless velociraptors. I can, again, always appreciate one, mostly because I like anything dinosaur related, and I think the Raptor actually looks pretty cool. It seems like it's going to come in two different paint schemes. One is kind of a Velociraptor blue inspired paint scheme, the other one is a greenish paint scheme. I actually really like the green version, so if I were to get one, that'll probably be the way I go, because it looks really nice natural tones of color for it, and a very appealing sculpt if you ask me. Again, something that I don't think it'll be everyone's cup of tea, but personally I definitely like it. Then as far as PNSO goes, there has been some talk recently of a potential new Spinosaurus coming from them. There is no surefire word yet on this from PNSO, or at least as of me making this video there hasn't been, but there has been some kind of teases, as they've been posting a lot about Spinosaurus recently and kind of teasing Spinosaurus with quite a few different images that you can see here, and I'm definitely excited about the fact that they may make another one, because the last Spinosaurus from PNSO was just unbelievable, and I would love to see another one, potentially a bigger one, because the previous one was more of like a juvenile size, so I would love to see an adult similar in size to the older Essien the Spinosaurus that they had released. So keeping my fingers crossed that if they are making another one, it'll be a larger one, but either way, I'm sure it'll be awesome. And then as far as Beasts of the Mesozoic goes and the Tyrannosaur series, we have another image of the very large and awesome looking Tyrannosaurus coming from them in comparison to the juvenile Tyrannosaurus, and I thought the image was just so beautiful and really cool to see the two together that I absolutely knew I had to show you guys this image and show you just how fantastic this upcoming Tyrannosaur series is going to be. These two together look incredible, and the adult Tyrannosaur now being fully finished as far as the paint application goes shows off just how awesome that model looks as well. Definitely a very exciting time to be a dinosaur collector, especially when you have lines as incredible as the Beasts of the Mesozoic. And then in something that I thought was really cool and is kind of dinosaur related, Playmates, who have been releasing a Godzilla line for quite a few months now, are going to be releasing a Gorosaurus, and we can see him here in these images, and I was always growing up such a huge fan of Gorosaurus just because of the obvious very dinosaur-like look of him. He looks almost like the last dinosaur Tyrannosaurus, and I always really liked that movie, and of course always liked Gorosaurus from the Godzilla films, so the fact that this is releasing was just unbelievably exciting to me, and it's a model that I without question will be picking up the moment I see it, because again, I love Gorosaurus and I have no Gorosaurus figures in my collection at all, so this will be the first and I couldn't be more excited about it. And then there is a new company coming out, although we don't know too much about them at this point. Like, there's really been very little information released about them, but they're called Blue Planet, and we can see here that one of the models they'll be releasing is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know, again, like, I know nothing about them other than the image that we have here. I don't know if these are going to be resin kits. I don't know if they're going to be fully painted models. All I do know is that that Tyrannosaurus looks gorgeous, and I'm super excited to learn more about them. I'm hoping they'll be fully finished models, kind of like, you know, PNSO style models, things like that, GR Toys type models, because it's always awesome to get more models of that style released, especially when it's a Tyrannosaurus that looks as nice as this. So when more information is available on this, I will of course let you guys know. And then as far as Nanmu goes, we have the very first look at the painted versions of the Baryonyx, and oh my, are these gorgeous. Like, these might be two of the nicest painted Nanmu models that I've ever seen. That Baryonyx there at the top, the Jurassic World style one, looks picture perfect to the Jurassic World Baryonyx, and the paint application is so insanely smooth and nice on that model. And then, of course, Nanmu always just blows my mind with how good their alternate paint schemes are, and I honestly think I like the alternate paint scheme here of the, you know, laying down version of the Baryonyx potentially better than the Jurassic World one. And we actually have a second image of that, because it also includes an image of the base that Nanmu has released, giving you a better idea of just how nice that paint scheme is with those beautiful yellows running along the spine. These Baryonyx are already exceeding my expectations by a mile, and continuing to show that Nanmu currently, I would say, is the leader of the dinosaur collecting community for sure when it comes to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World style collectibles, but as far as overall quality goes, I don't think anybody out there is touching Nanmu at this point in time, and these models again look to be two of the nicest Baryonyx models that I'll probably ever see. And then these images were sent to me on Instagram by quite a few different people. I don't know exactly where they originated from, but I know that they are images of the upcoming Jurassic World minifigures, so I do apologize to whoever is the originator of the images, as I don't have the information to share with you guys to give you exactly who the one was that supplied us with these, but it's a great help for anybody that is planning on getting the brand new minis that are coming out, as we have some images here of a few different ones, and they're some of the more anticipated minis with the codes that actually show you which figures are in which packages. And we can obviously see we have the Irritator, the Seats, the Tarbosaurus, as well as the Green Rex, which I think the Green Rex was released prior, but I could be wrong. But again, the Tarbosaurus, Seats, and Irritator are some of the nicest looking minifigures I think I've ever seen from Mattel, and three that I'm very, very much so anticipating picking up. And I figured that showing you guys these images would definitely help if you happen to encounter them, as opposed to buying a million repacks when you can't tell exactly what figures are in what packages. These images here showing off the codes should help you out. And the final thing that I have here is thanks to Alpha Raptor Reviews on Instagram, and it is a look at the Amber Collection Velociraptor, the JP3 male Velociraptor in package, and we can see that it just looks beautiful for sure. I really cannot wait to get this one. This is definitely my most anticipated Raptor at this point. At one time I would have said the Lost World Raptor was, but once we actually got some images of the Raptor, I was a lot less excited for it. However, this one definitely looks way better than I was expecting it to, so it's definitely the most anticipated for me at this point. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed we get the female Raptor as well, but considering Mattel's track record when it comes to Amber Collection Velociraptors, I see no reason why we won't. Hopefully it'll be as nice as this Raptor right here, because it just looks incredible in package, and the fact that we have in package images means the Raptor's coming sooner rather than later, so I can't wait to get this one in my hands. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.